Okay, FTP charge pipe installed on a BMW 320i LCI. This is the B48 motor, so this procedure will be same as for any B48 engine which is transversely mounted, longitudinally mounted. So that includes 530i, the new G20, 330i, all the cars, same procedure has to be followed. Obviously, some of the parts will look a little different, but the pipe is the same and the procedure is the same. So, let's see. What are we doing? We are replacing this pipe. This whole pipe going all the way to my turbo, this is the one we're replacing. And firstly, this is because it's made of flimsy plastic and it's leaking. If you notice over here, there's a gap just formed up over here, and this is plastic, so I can't bend it back into shape, and it is leaking all kinds of stuff all over. This turbo pipe starts from your throttle body, goes all the way to your turbo. Now the stuff I've got over here, this is the replacement pipe, and this is the part of the pipe which goes from the turbo till the middle, and this is the part which goes from the middle till the turbo outlet, till the throttle body. So in order to remove this pipe, there's a C-clip. Let me just explain to you what it is. Like clip like this. You can see the metal clip over here. This metal clip, you have to pull it up and the pipe comes out. So that's the only metal C-clip there is. So that C-clip is somewhere behind this piece, behind that wrinkle piece. So normally if the car I had a lift, I could lift the car, pull it out from the bottom. But since I don't have a lift at home, I'm going to remove the airbox and access the clip from there. And the process is, first I'll plug in the lower part of the pipe, then I'll plug in the connector over here, and then I'll plug in the top part of the pipe, and then tighten everything down. So these are supposed to be T27 Torx screws over here, 1, 2, and this one underneath. I don't have a T27 Torx bit, but I'm told that the T25 should do the job. So we're going to try to see if they can do it. Otherwise, we'll improvise with a star head somewhere. Other than that, it's a pretty simple install. So step 1, removing the airbox. This is pretty easy. You just need to disconnect the mass sensor. You need to flag it for that. Simple screwdriver. Pull it up and disconnect it. Mass sensor disconnected. Right. There is no other sensor that's on this car part you should disconnect. So you got to disconnect this part as well. So you put these together and wriggle it out. It should come out on its own. So you have these two springs. So this is also disconnected. Now the ideal thing to get this airbox off first. So you got these clips. You use a hand to remove these clips. And yeah, all the clips are disconnected. Remove the airbox cover off. Put it aside. Remove this, should come out on its own. I'm going to remove the filter. Filter is pretty clean also. So, filter is off. And this airbox is stuck on by grommet. So the rubber grommet over here, you should be able to just pull it off the grommet. And yeah. And there's an air inlet over here, that's also will just come off. So you just give it a nice little tug. There's one grommet over here, I can see one grommet over here. There should be one more behind it, but that will pull out. Ouch! Damn! Hit hard. Yeah. This one the grommet just came out, so I'll just put it back in. Now there's so much space to work over here. Okay, so the clip that we are looking at, I'm going to lower the camera down into the engine bay, is this metal clip over here. This metal clip I have to pull out. So you can see it, and I'll pull the camera out. That's the metal clip we are looking at. That metal clip needs to be pulled out, so I'm going to try to figure out how to do that with a screwdriver or something, and hopefully then this side of the pipe will come out. But before I pull that side out, I'm going to disconnect all the sensors over here, which is one sensor, two sensors, Yeah, I think that's only 2 sensors over here. I'll disconnect and make this part of the pipe loose. So I'm connecting these sensors, so just unscrew them from here. Don't lose these screws, you will not be using them. The kit comes with different screws. So one screw out. Put the screws down here. And this is the mass air pressure sensor. So map sensor out of the way. Then I think this is a temperature sensor, and this one should just screw out. So let's see. How do I unplug it? Yeah. Okay, this is pretty easy. So you just unclip this and give it a nice tug. Sensor comes out. Just remember, remove this part. So I just need to. So you got to remove this clip from this, and that is needed. This part, you just lift it up. Yeah, I think this comes out, and that's your second sensor connector. Now this sensor should just unscrew itself out. So you can just unscrew it. This is, I think, your air temperature sensor. Just be careful, there are O-rings over here and things over here. So you don't want to lose anything. So yeah, this sensor comes out. I'll put this away. So now 1, 2, and there should be a third screw somewhere here. There's a third screw. Let me try to figure out if I can take them out. Yeah, they're T27 with T25 balls. Okay, so I'll just loosen them all first. Yeah, these are very tight. So this one should be a bit of a challenge. So let's see if I can use the extension on this. I figured it out, so you can do it from here. Once that's it loose, I should be able to use this longest screwdriver and pull it out. Okay. I want to address this one first because it's the most painful one. This thing should be loose from here. Yeah, there is an O-ring over here, so just remember you need to keep this O-ring on. Wow, a lot of oil in this pipe. So this side pipe is done. So now we need to get to that clip. Let's locate that clip. That clip is over there. I can do it by hand only, right? Yeah, I can do it by hand. It comes out by hand. Fantastic. You just lift it up by hand, and maybe if you want, you can just hold the clip out, and you can just pull the clip off. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the clip. C-clamp clip out. So at this point, you can just simply wiggle this out. You can see this whole thing, you can just wiggle it out, and wow, that came out pretty easily. Just turn it around. Yeah. So this is the charge pipe which comes out. So there's an O-ring in here. I don't think you have to replace that because the charge pipe comes with this O-ring already. Yeah. So look at the diameter of this pipe, and this is a very funny looking pipe. So yeah, it's leaking from all over the place. Okay, so this is done. So next phase is to assemble this charge pipe to meet this pipe. So this part I'll put in the turbo first, then I'll put this over it, and then we'll put the top part. So, okay. I'm going to try to slide it in like this and see if I can pull it in. Okay. Oh dear. Yeah. Try both sides. You know what? I'll just put the clamp hopefully and put the clamp back in when I'm done. Yeah. Clamp out. Just place the pipe fully and then put the clamp back in. Figure out a way to put the clamp in now. This side. Okay. Just make sure the thing is seated well, because yeah, it's seated now well properly. There will be a bit of a gap between this. That's what there is right now. Okay, so the clamp, as you can see, is seated in properly. There'll be a gap over there. Don't worry about the gap. As long as the O-ring is sealing that, each gap should be all right. Okay. The next part, putting this piece in. So this is the top piece. Temperature sensor, I think this is the map sensor and this is the temperature sensor. So first things first, we'll just screw the temperature sensor. I want to clean this O-ring. You can see the throttle body over here, it's very dirty, so I want to clean that O-ring first before I start. I'll just put the temperature sensor. Yeah. So here, this is the temperature sensor from the stock intake tubing. Just screw it in. Don't need to go crazy tightening on it. It's plastic. Make sure it's finger tight. Your sensor is in. This part we will do after we put this thing in. So before we put it in, I just want to do a cleaning of the throttle body area. Yeah, so this O-ring is very dirty because obviously there's a gas leak happening. Something or the other was leaking. So clean this thing thoroughly. Just make sure it doesn't fall out. Okay, so I think this plastic thing is cleaned. Now, the way I would go about it is first, I'll just put in the second clamp into the holes down there. Let me just see if I can give you guys a better view from here. So now I'm going to put this hose clamp down there. Yeah. Let's put this one down here. Okay. And now we'll just rotate this up. Yep, in. Now just rotate it into place. Put it back. Okay. So, tiresome. Yeah. So use your hand to do this first, so you know. Don't end up cross-threading anything. Alright, so now I need to tighten all these up. So we'll go back to our. Okay, so let's see. So tightening these up should be pretty easy, same way. Snug all three in and do it again. Okay, so the camera is running out of battery now, so I'll just tighten it up and then charge the camera and then do another review, another video of this so you can see it installed. Nothing left, just install this and that's it. So you guys, okay, charge pipe install is done. I've covered it up. Although I don't want to cover it up, I'll just show you guys what the charge pipe looks like now that it's installed. Just like this. So there's a charge pipe. It goes all the way to the turbo, center clamp, mass sensors installed, air temperature sensors installed. These are the methanol injection bungs, but I'm not using them, so 1 and 2, so they are closed. But other than that, intake is put back in and everything is tightened down. No gaps or any leaks so far, so we're going to start up the car and go for a quick ride to see how she's behaving. Right,